Welcome. Welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to be making spoon bread. Now, spoon bread goes way back, and because it does, there's probably hundreds of recipes out there the way people make it. I'm going to show you how I make my spoon bread most of the time, and I just like it because it's simple. I think it tastes great, so let's get right into it. First thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and the next thing is you want to get your skillet ready. Now I always cook it in a cast iron skillet. You don't have to. If you're going to use a bacon pan, you can use just a 2-quart bacon pan, but go ahead and oil it with whatever type of oil you want. So we got that ready to go. So you want to take a cup of stone ground cornmeal, and you just want to go ahead and you just want to sift it into your mixing bowl here. And once you got your cup of cornmeal sifted in, you just want to take a 1/4 cup or half a stick of butter at room temperature. Just add that in. And the next thing you want to add is you want to boil a cup of water. So you want to have a cup of water boiled and ready to go. So I have that here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to mix in that cup of water. So I'm just going to whisk the mixture together until it's well mixed and the butter's melted. So we're just going to mix that up together. And then after we have that mixed together, we're just going to add that to our cornmeal mix. And we're just going to use a spoon to mix that in as we pour it in. And at first we just use a spoon, mix that up. And then I'm just going to get a whisk and just kind of make sure it's really well stirred together. So once that's smooth, we're going to just let it sit for about 20 minutes to allow the cornmeal to absorb the milk. Now I find my spoon bread turns out better if I preheat my skillet. So what I've done, I oiled it, and I'm going to put it in the oven ahead of time just to preheat it. So after our cornbread mixture's been sitting here, the next step is when we separated the eggs, we put the yolks in already, we still got the whites. So we're going to beat the whites, and what you want to do is just make sure you don't use a plastic bowl because that doesn't work well. You want to use a metal bowl or something like that, and just start out low. What you're doing actually when you're beating them is you're adding air into it, and as it mixes, it just kind of stiffens it up. And you'll notice after a while it'll start getting stiffer. So you just keep beating it until it gets stiff. So you can see it's getting there. It does take a while. So you can see what it looks like when it's done. It'll have peaks and valleys. Let me get a spoon. We're going to be putting some in here. So you can see what it does is after you whip it, you can see it how it's peaks and valleys and how thick it is. So what I do is I usually take about 2/3 of it at first, and I'm just going to put that in the middle. And then what I do is just bring the mixture over, kind of mix it up a little bit. And then I'll just put in the rest of it. And then once that's put together, I'm just going to go ahead and bring over our preheated skillet. We're going to put it in, and we're going to put it in the oven for about 35 minutes. So I'll see you in about 35 minutes. So our spoon bread's been baking now for 35 minutes. So let's go ahead and take it out and see how it looks. I don't know how well you can see that, but it looks delicious. So I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to use a butter knife just to make sure that it is ready, and then we'll go for a taste. So we're going to test it now just to make sure it's done. And like I said, I just use a butter knife, and as long as it comes out clean, then I know it's done. It looks good. So let's go ahead, and of course the reason they call it spoon bread is because you serve it with a spoon. So let me go ahead, and I'm just going to take a little bit here. Now the way I eat my spoon bread, I just like butter on it. I know different people do it different ways. So let me just go ahead and put a little bit of butter on top. So I'm not going to wait for that to melt in. So let me go ahead and just take a bite. I love spoon bread. Now I don't make mine with sugar. Some people add sugar to it, and you know, to each their own. But for me, a little butter on top just goes a long way. So thanks for watching today on how I make my spoon bread, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, just go ahead and like it. If you want to see more videos like this of different Southern dishes, Appalachian dishes, Pennsylvania Dutch dishes, you know, I live in the mountains, and so I make all kind of things. So lots of history, lots of good dishes. Spoon bread goes way, way, way back, and so it goes back as long as we've had cornmeal. So thanks again for watching, and again, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.